So, all the 2023 Formula One liveries have been launched, with some being leaked, which we'll probably get into. But it's that time where I decide to rank them, and I preface this is my opinion. If you don't like it, that is absolutely fine because everyone is entitled to their opinion, even though it's 2023, and I'm pretty sure there's a law against having an opinion, which, especially with some of these liveries, I very much disagree with how people view some of these liveries. But without further ado, I think that's all the disclaimers out of the way. That is my opinion, even though I'm not allowed to have one now, especially when they disagree with the majority. But here we are, that's the internet, and it's my channel. So, without further ado, I have a cup of tea here as well, just in case, this some tea might get spilt, you never know. But coming in at number 10 is the McLaren. I don't like this livery. I didn't like last year's livery. The last McLaren that I generally liked was probably their 2020 or 2019 car. I wasn't a big fan of their 2021 car was okay. It wasn't as good as the 2019 or 2021. I didn't like last year's. It is the same with this one. I think that the McLaren... The trouble with this year is that most of these cars have become infected with black carbon disease, where because they have to get the weight down, most of it, they've had to leave exposed carbon fiber, which I'm not against because sometimes it does work. But this is one of the cases where, for me personally, it doesn't work because I really like the papaya and blue McLarens. Like, they're Indy cars. I can't remember which one it is, but it's the orange and blue one. I can't remember who's going to be driving that car, but that one looks beautiful. If that was on the F1 car, beautiful. I don't like this one. I personally feel that this one's a little bit of a mess. Like, I know, like, the sponsors, but the chrome on the air intake, I don't like the placement there. I just don't like this. I just don't like this livery, plain and simple. I don't like it. Moving on to one that is the final one. Similar story with the carbon fiber disease. Is the Alpine. They released two, which is the pink, which they did last year. Which I prefer the pink Alpine to the blue and pink one because I think pink and black works. Pink, black, and blue doesn't for me. So yeah, it's kind of the same story with the McLaren, although this one, in terms of sponsors placement, is not as big of a mess for me. But like, from the top view up, this car looks just fucking odd. But until the weight is sorted, this is what we're going to be stuck with, unfortunately. I do like the wheel rims on the Alpine, though. I do like that. And from the front angle, doesn't actually look that bad. But, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the Alpine. It's very similar to last year's, which I'm not complaining because I did grow to like the Alpine last year, but that exposed carbon fiber, it's just I'm not about it. But unfortunately, it's a side effect of the weight because these cars are so fucking fat and heavy. Now, 8th place is the Red Bull. This is last year's Brideriser. He say no, this is Red Bull's 2023 livery. I do like this livery. I know everyone was complaining it's the same. Look, McLaren had the same Marlboro livery. I don't know if actually I have to say that on YouTube, but Susan's stepped down from YouTube CEO now, so hopefully that's okay now. But this is just going to be one of those modern classics, like the white and red McLaren, the JPS Lotus, the gold leaf Lotus as well. I still don't know if I'm allowed to say those words. But I think this is just going to be one of those, where we look back quite fondly when they stopped doing this livery. I'm just like, I actually quite miss this livery. But I like that they put the red on the wheel rims. So that's a nice little change, because I don't think they had that last year. I could be wrong though. But it's just a nice sort of livery, because we now get into liveries that I actually somewhat like. And then we go into ones later where I actually absolutely fucking love them. But that is for Red Bull, not too much to say. It's just become one of those standard liveries that we associate with Red Bull now. Now, 7th place, I'm going to get a load of shit for this. It's the Alfa Romeo. This car, look, I get why people like it, I do, but it just, when I saw this, I just felt, that just feels so Ferrari. But looking at it a little bit more, I do quite like it, but I prefer the other liveries that have been released, which is why this one is number 7. I'm not saying this is bad, because this is a really, really great livery. I just prefer the other ones on this list. Wheel rims, I love them. The red. Now that I was a bit concerned, because obviously when I was a bit concerned, I was like, is this going to be too similar to Ferrari? But they've got a better shade. They've got, I think the Alfa Romeo has a better shade of red, to be honest. But don't tell any of the Tifosi that I said that. But yeah, not much more to say. I do like this livery. It's grown on me, but I just prefer the other liveries on this list. Next up is the Haas, which I really, really like the Haas. It does seem to be a little bit Marmite, a Marmite car. And I really, really like it. I think from different angles. From a front angle, it looks so similar to last year. But from this view that I've got, the side view, it looks a lot nice. Now, this black's probably going to be exposed carbon, but this is exposed carbon done right. So, for me, yeah, nothing more to say. Solid livery, the first one to be released, and it's at number 6 on my list. Number 5, slap bang in the middle, is the Alpha Tauri. I liked this when it first came out. This is the best Alpha Tauri since the 2021, because I did not like the 2021 car. I thought that was very, very ugly. And then the 2022 car I just thought it was okay. I just thought it was very okay. But one thing I would get rid of on this livery is the Orlan on the halo and on the rear wing. I think it's fine down there by, I think it's called Bassa barge boards. But yeah, I do really like this car. I thought when I saw it, ooh, I like that. That is very, very nice. It's actually balanced out the navy blue with navy blue. Is that navy blue? I don't fucking know. And the white, which I really, really like. I like the wheel rims. That is becoming a very, very big trend on this list, so you can see. I really do like them. And nice more so much to say. I do like the little like stripes, the way it goes from the blue to the white. I really, really like that as well. I know you can't really see it, but it's kind of similar to ones in the wheel rims. But I like this livery. I don't really think that needs to be said. Now, number 4 is the Aston Martin. Similar to Red Bull, it's exactly the same. I just prefer the Aston Martin. I think this is going to be, again, one that doesn't change a whole lot, which I'm fine with, because I think this livery just slaps. I would love just a little bit more of the fluorescent yellow or like green or whatever it is on the pinstripe. I would love a little bit more of that. Yeah, I do think Aston Martin is just going to become similar to Red Bull, just one of those just classic liveries where we look back in a few years. If they do change it in a few years' time, which I don't think they will, just be like, I kind of miss that. I think it's just going to be one of them. So that is it. I think, to be fair for the Aston Martin, just a nice solid livery and not too much exposed carbon. Because on this one, again, the exposed carbon fibre actually works for me. So that is the Aston Martin. Moving on to the Williams. I was a little bit concerned that I thought it's just going to be one of those ones where it's, because last year's Williams was basically black by the end of the season because of all the weight saving. We got teased with a Golf livery. I say we got teased. The internet basically said, "Oh my god, we're going to get a gold livery, a Golf livery, not a gold livery." But I prefer this. I'm glad Williams are sticking to a colour scheme, because ever since 2019, they've always had like a staggeringly different car. Like 2019, we had Rocket, and then 2020 we had Rocket on the side pods, and then and then obviously Rocket left, and then we got that nice white and blue Williams car, which I really, really liked. And then the 2021 car, which I was in the minority where I actually really liked that car. And then we've got this one, and then we got the 2021, which was all right, and then they stripped all the paint off. And then we got this one, which is in matte, and it looks so much nicer rather than the gloss livery rather than the gloss paint or whatever paint they used. But this one's got matte paint, which it looks so much better. The Duracell on the air intake, beautiful. I'm so glad they brought that back. And there's less red, which red doesn't really belong on a Williams, to be honest. I get why it's there. It just doesn't really belong there on a Williams. But the dark blue and the light blue highlights, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I just wish there was a little bit more light blue, to be honest. I think light blue suits Williams quite a bit, but dark blue does as well, contrasted with white. I do like those those late 2000s Williams when Rosberg and Nakajima drive for him. I do like them. I do really like them. But nice, solid livery. I like it a lot, which is why it's in number 3. Number 2 is the Ferrari. The launch of this car was absolutely amazing. We actually got to see a shakedown live, which I was so excited for. It's a shame it wasn't Carlos, but I got a picture of Carlos when he drove the car. There was one thing I would change on this car, and is that little speck of the Sever sponsorship, or however you say it, sponsor on under the carbon. On the carbon black there. I would just paint that red, and then this livery is sorted for me. I love that they've put the classic Ferrari logo or writing, whatever, on the rear wing. And I don't know if they will, probably judging by these pictures not, I hope that they do it white for Charles and yellow for Carlos. I think that would be even more better. But solid livery, it's not as a dark red as they used last year, which harks back to the early 90s Ferraris, but it's still a solid livery. I like it a lot. Ferrari biased, I know people are going to probably say that because I am a Ferrari fan, but their 2021 car I didn't really like a lot because it had that stupid maroon on the rear wing. But now we get on to number 1 by process of elimination. I'm sure you know what it all is. It's the Mercedes, back in black. This is fucking beautiful. I love this car so much. I was watching the review with my sister, because she likes it. She's a George Russell fan, and she's just like, that is beautiful. And I said to her, looking at it more, I said, this is beating the Ferrari for me. I do like the Ferrari, but this is borderline perfection. I will say that. This livery is borderline perfection. I kind of would like a little bit more silver on it, though. And I thought at the time, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, they've got the Mercedes logo still on like the rear end of the car. But it doesn't bother me, because you can barely see them. And I think with George's Monster Energy Green numbers, I think this looks a lot better. Hamilton's car with the yellow 44s still looks great, but I do prefer the Monster Energy Green of George's car, I suppose. But there's nothing here that I would change. There's some things I would change, well, like others, and others I just think are solid and I wouldn't change them. But this one's just so good. I can't see a fault. I thought Ineos would probably come in with a bit of red, only on the air intake, and there's no black. So I don't really know. I can't really think of anything more to be said. So that is it for this video. I've probably been cancelled by Alpha fans, McLaren fans, Max Verstappen stands. Hamilton stands have probably gone up. Have they probably gained a little bit more? I've probably gained a little bit more favour with Hamilton stands. I can't think of anyone else who I've pissed off in this video. I can't think of anything, any other subgroup category of people that I have pissed off on Twitter. But this is my listing, and do your own. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it. If you disliked it, that's fine, because, well, hopefully with Susan out of stepping down as CEO of YouTube, maybe the person who replaces her will bring dislikes back, so I can actually see them again without having to go out my way. So yeah, dislike it if you didn't. If you like this video, check out some of the other content on my channel. I do like Formula 1, Marvel Contest Champions with a little bit of commentary sprinkled in. And you like my other content, click that subscribe button and make it red to grey. And also turn on the notification bell so that you actually see my videos when they come up on in your subscription feed. And until next time, goodbye.